Now, of the companies that are exhibiting here at NACAT 2022, there are some that just about everyone in the industry has heard of. I'm willing to bet that the company we're going to talk about next is on that list. It's AESWave, AESWave.com, and here to tell us about it is Chris Reynolds, right? Chris, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Now, I want to say right at the bat that while you're here representing AESWave in terms of the trade show, you are first and foremost an educator in your own right, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I'm a college professor in automotive technology at Lewis and Clark Community College in Godfrey, Illinois.
Oh, so that's not too god-awful far from here, right?
About a 7-hour drive, not too bad.
Okay, well, considering from Florida, it's a bit more, right?
Yep.
Right. So, and did your relationship with the AESWave start as your role as an instructor, or the other way around?
It really started for me as a student, learning more critical ways to diagnose systems. I was exposed to it as an undergraduate student at my alma mater at SIU Carbondale, and really got to see circuit behavior, mechanical relationships transcribed with such a broad variety of tools that it encouraged me as an instructor to take those things on in my practices.
And in terms of AESWave, tell us a little bit about them for those who don't know who that is.
AESWave is a company that's completely vested in the automotive industry, not just the service side, which is what I help prepare as a technician educator. Is what I help prepare as a technician educator, but really the technician education side. They have developed critical models for understanding circuit theory, a lot of unique tools in-house that really help us share with our student populations how a circuit operates and effective methods for diagnosing components.
Yeah, so I mean, they've created a number of unique unique tools that they've come up, and they're all right. Two that come immediately in my mind are the U-scope, pocket-sized, very single channel, but a very powerful scope. But what's nice about it is if you haven't used a scope before, this is a rather budget-friendly way of getting started, right? So it's a very capable tool. And then one I'm anxiously awaiting is the return of the U-Activate in its new redesign, a relay testing tool. But that's not all they offer, right? Because they're kind of a clearinghouse for anything that's related to electrical testing, diagnostics, whether it's the tool, the accessories, even the training. Tell us some more about that.
So we, as a program, me being introduced to AESWave so long ago, we have really embedded different techniques that we've taken from industry and put in place. One of the major tools that I use in the electrical class and the drivability classes I teach are digital storage oscilloscopes. My students years ago, almost a decade ago, were able to use a digital storage oscilloscope to isolate a fault that wasn't really addressed in service information. They found a 5-volt circuit being pulled to ground by a 12-volt injection control circuit, and them being able to see that live, they were able to connect the relationship that 5-volt power supply had with a 12-volt power supply, even though the diagram showed otherwise, and successfully diagnose and repair a harness failure on a minivan. So,
wow. So you make this an integral use in your teaching methods in your school with this equipment?
Absolutely.
And does AES provide resources for the educator to help them?
Oh yeah, so my intro to electrical students, they all go through color coding wiring diagrams. They get comfortable with reading the diagrams. On the end of AESWave directly, I'm part of another organization, ICIA, and they come and give presentations to the Illinois College Automotive Instructors Association on methods that help us as educators train not only ourselves, but also our student populations to be more competent in reading diagrams and other forms of resources.
I understand they also have some online resources and the social media. What about that?
Absolutely. So they've got AESWave.com, their main website. They have an AESWave Facebook page that's dedicated to AESWave. They have an AESWave tech feed page. And something they've been working on the past few years that I'm part of is the AESWaveauto.edu.feed site, which is a way for educators that focus on the automotive industry to share resources, whether it be how this tool was put into action, or these scholarships are opening up, or these training events are coming, on the horizon, and it's a very good group to belong to.
So it's particular for educators.
Absolutely. Yep.
And again, I got to stress, if guys and gals you're watching, so many of the companies that you've been introduced to here as part of this little short fireside chats, if you will, I want to make sure you understand that these companies are not just here showcasing their products and services, which AESWave has some great products and services, and I will attest to the fact that their support is an industry standard when it comes to taking care of their customers. But they're also supporting the industry, giving back to the industry, supporting you. And while the focus here at NACAT, of course, is you educators, again, if you are high school program, post-high school, big district, big budget, little district, no budget, this is another resource for you to take advantage of. Number one, join NACAT. Become a part of an organization that will help you with those resources and support the efforts that they're making for you. And then number two, take a look at these folks who, like Chris is representing AESWave, at the resources that they have for you, especially if you're new to the educational sector. A lot of us as technicians transition to that as we get a little older. So there's a learning curve there.
Absolutely.
That they can help in. So if they want to find, what was the website again?
AESWave.com. The two Facebook groups that are primary for them are AESWave Tech Feed and AESWaveAuto.edu.feed.
Okay, easy enough to find. Chris, thanks so much for taking the time to share it, and please express to not only you, but to George and Carlos Menchu, who are like the foundation of AESWave, for their support of NACAT.
Will do. Thanks, Pete.
All right.